Okay, we are here, we are live, we are good to go. Welcome along, ladies and gentlemen. This is RPL Racing. What the? Hold on.
Looks like George is in the Mercedes due to his contract.
Yeah, but I think... Let's see. Just trying to figure out what's going on here. Okay, so it's gonna be a couple minutes because apparently Mercedes are in complete disarray on what is happening in the racing for today. All right. We are good now. Just taking a look. So we are just missing the Aston Martin pairing. So let's try this again. Welcome along, ladies and gentlemen. This is RPL F1 Season 8. We are entering round number 4 here in Imola. So, as usual, I'm your host, Ironwolf, in for today. And joining me is my co-commentating partner in crime, Layton. Layton, how goes it?
It's going good. Imola's going to be a good race. Hopefully come in statement. And yeah.
Alright, so last week was Australia, and Ferrari winds up going 3 for 3 in terms of race wins, with Jacob winding up winning the race. Maxwell wound up pulling up the surprise second place finish ahead of Cryptic, who finished in 3rd. In the Drivers' Championship, because of a penalty that happened, TB has taken the lead, 50 points, ahead of Cryptic, who has 48, and sitting in 3rd, ironically, he isn't here tonight, Scyther, who's sitting in 3rd with 30. In the Constructors' Championship, Ferrari continues its extension in the constructors' lead, 36 points ahead of Red Bull, 101 to 65, and Alpine is sitting in third ahead of Mercedes, 53 to 44. So we have 18 drivers in the field for today. This is Q1 of this event. So looking at our members here, we have Luke in the Alpine, Jacob in Ferrari, Kieran in AlphaTauri, Boss Cookie Alfa Romeo, Gerard, aka B1960 Grandpa in the Haas, Jordan in the Williams, JTK in the McLaren, Zakaria in the Alfa Romeo, Philadent, aka Fanflow in the other Alpine, the Chiller in the Red Bull, Owen, McLaren, Wavy in Williams, Reese in the Mercedes, Redfire, AlphaTauri, Tadpole in Red Bull, Groggers, Mercedes, Globetrotter, aka Capture in the Haas, and finally TB in the Ferrari. So only the Aston Martin is missing, and we have a couple people out and about on their, I believe it is their debut in F1, that being JTK and B1960 Grandpa. So this should be interesting to say the least, Layton.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Apparently, it's a wet race, in fact, so qualifying is going to be very crucial for these drivers. But yeah, wet race around Imola. Nothing can get worse than that.
I believe this is only the second season that we've had wet weather play a factor in this race, so this should be pretty interesting. And looks like with some of these guys coming onto the track, Jordan is going to be the first one to start his time lapse. So we are on board with Jordan as he makes his way down into the left, right, left of turns 1, 2, and 3. So with only 18 racing, there's only going to be 3 knocked out of Q1. Looks like we had an incident in the bus stop chicane. That is TB. Must have had an issue. But as Jordan is making his way through, Haas pairing of Globetrotter and Gerard are really starting their time lapse.
Yeah, Jordan, a driver that was hoping to be in the Mercedes tonight. Unfortunately, he's been put in the worst car on the grid. And he's just going to splitting it to 51.5. So very good from Jordan, but yeah, he was practicing the Mercedes, and now he's been chucked into the Williams, so he won't be happy. Not his fault. The team principal didn't do a contract correctly, or he did a contract correctly and he just forgot about it. So yeah, maybe there needs to be some more clarification between contracts and drivers. And I think this is something that the owners should perhaps look at, because this is 2 weeks in a row now that we've had some kerfuffles with the Mercedes Academy.
Absolutely, and Jordan does set the benchmark. It is a 17.4. Next up is Gerard, and he will come across the line at a 16.5 for Gerard in that Mercedes. And Globetrotter, slower than Jordan, with a 17.6.
TB's just coming around the final sector now. TB, one of the most consistent drivers in qualifying, I will say. He does come up to the line, it's going to be a 15.895, so very good from him. And Zakaria is actually going to be the next one to cross the line here. Where's he going to go compared to the Ferrari duo? And he actually goes behind the Haas by 5 tenths. Now Zakaria, a driver that not used to the Aston Martin as much. I don't think he wanted to drive the car today. I think he would prefer the Haas, but he's been trusted by his team principal, and hopefully he can perform in a better car compared to the Haas. We've got Spinner, and it looks like that is Globetrotter that's spun at the fast left.
Yes, he has, and TB, like you said, one of the most consistent drivers on this field so far, and he, I believe, if my memory's right, just taking a look, for the 3 races so far, his worst finish was only a 6th place last week in Australia, but that was on the track, but a penalty that Reese wound up getting moved him up to 5th. So 5th is basically his worst position. So 3 races in, 3 top 5s for TB.
Yeah, TB, the current championship leader at the moment after having a win in Saudi and I'm going to say a 5th place in Australia. And then I think in round 1 he got 4th as well. So very consistent from him. And his championship rival, I'm going to say Cryptic, is not here this weekend. So TB has the chance to extend. But he does have his teammate Jacob, who could put up a fight potentially in this championship. So it could be a Ferrari versus Ferrari side battle, depending on the results today. But Reece Dainty is in the middle sector. He is flying. The past 2 rounds in Jeddah and Australia, he's been very, very good. I shall say in qualifying, but in the race pace he just drops off a little bit, but he still has the pace. And here we go, through the double left. He hooks it up, takes all that outside cover. We got a McLaren in the gravel, and here we go. Reece Dainty comes up to the line. Where will he go? And it's only 6th place. That is not good from him.
Not good at all. He's only 0.08 of a second off of Zakaria's time, and as you mentioned about with Zakaria, he's actually just coming back out to set another lap. Now Zakaria, he is mainly in the Haas car, but he is filling in for Blonde, as Blonde is not going to be competing today. Now he was complaining about the car's poor driving ability, and he is very concerned. He was basically saying he might be out of Q1, as we can just see in the background over watching Reese. JTK ones are going around. But as you mentioned about with TB extending his championship lead, there's no doubt in my mind that will most likely happen, because his 3 rivals, Cryptic, who's in 2nd, Scyther, who's in 3rd, and Maxwell, who's sitting in 4th, all 3 of those guys are not here. And that is going to work in favor of TB's teammate, who I'm looking at now, Jacob, who's sitting in 5th. He has a good chance to go to 2nd in the standings.
Yeah, he has a good chance, but Jacob, a driver that is very quick, does tend to lack patience. And I'd say just patience overall. He's a driver that does tend to struggle, and once he loses his head, he does lose it. But if he performs on a good day, then he can do good. And there we go, he goes 5th. He did make a little mistake in the chicane, so that probably cost him about 2-3 tenths. So the chicane is one to nail, definitely. But one person that is going to surprise me this weekend, hopefully he surprises me, Tadpole. The driver that's on 3 wins in a row in Tier 2 at the moment. He's the most dominant driver in Tier 2 at the moment. And his debut is in the Red Bull, filling in for Cryptic. And he'll be trying to get his name up there by performing against some of the best. But he only goes P12. So something is wrong here. We have a Mercedes in 14th. We have a Red Bull in 12th. We have another Mercedes in 9th. It's very, very close.
Yeah, it is a very strange turn of events, to say the least. And one person has yet to come out, to Chiller. He has yet to come out. He was having some issues staying in the lobby, because he did get thrown out twice. And looking at everybody here so far, I mean, compared with the TB and Jacob, Jacob is only 9/10 behind TB in 6th, and he's got literally the Alpine pairing, a Haas, and an Alpha Tauri ahead of him. So this is gonna be this is gonna be a unique qualifying to say the least. And with only under 8 minutes to go, well, let's go with let's go with some guessing games. Who do you think will be the 3 drivers not moving on into Q2?
Wavy. This it's hard because it's close between everyone. Wavy, Groggers, Globetrotter.
So Wavy, George, and Globe. I will agree with 2 of those being George and Wavy, but I think JTK in his debut, I think he is going to be out instead of Globetrotter. I think Globetrotter will be going through, but just barely. Oh, speaking of Groggers, he is actually back out. He's going to start a new lap very shortly. And we still don't know what's up with the Chiller on if he's coming back or not. We're just trying to figure out what's going on. But I'm thinking with some of these guys saying like slower laps, like George's 15th, Tadpole 12th, and all that stuff. I'm thinking these guys are running wet setups on this dry track. Because even though it's a dry qualifying, it is a wet race, so anything can happen in that race. So that could be what it could. That's probably what it is. They got wet tire setups.
Yeah, it's gonna be a wet race, and it will be. It will be questionable what setups people go for because wet setups do tend to lose you a lot of time. But talking about a driver that is close to being knocked out is Groggers, and he has cut the chicane. He's gone off at the chicane, and it should have been invalid where it isn't. And this is the problem we have here in F1, where drivers tend to cut the corners and don't back out. Yeah, he has cut the corner, and let's see where he goes. P10, the P11.
And so he did cut the bus stop chicane, and the time did not invalidate. So Groggers is gonna have to. He's gonna have to basically set a new. He's 11th. It is basically an unfair lap. So that if you did record that, Layton, that's probably something for the stewards to keep an eye to note. Because if it winds up him going through to Q2 because of that invalidated lap, then that means George shouldn't have been in the Q2. He should be back where he was in P15.
Yeah, a driver that hasn't set a lap so far is the Chiller, and he is in one at the moment. He's in the middle sector.
Yes, he is.
He always likes to go out at the very last couple of minutes just to make sure he has clear track to himself and that he can hook up the track, and it looks like at the moment he's going to do that. Now the Chiller, he is Italian. This is an Italian track. I do feel like the Chiller's going to be up there.
Could be. The history of the Chiller. Season 1 RPL champion. Had 2 wins last season at the breaking the winless curse. Where will he be? Second fastest. Only 3/10 off of TV's time. So that's a really nice time by the Chiller.
Yeah, it's a very good time.
Currently the bottom 3 right now is Wavy, JTK, and Owen. Those are your bottom 3 right now.
Paul's just about to come over the line. Will he improve He needs to improve. He is at risk. Where will he go? He's going to shoot up to 9th. So he's still a bit slow. Kieran jumps up to 5th in the AlphaTauri now. Very good from him. Reese Dainty comes up to the line. He's about to start his lap. Zacharia's about to start his lap. Jordan's about to start his final lap, I would presume, or second to final lap.
Zakaria was on a time lap. He crossed and he actually improved, went slightly ahead of Tadpole.
Yeah, so very close.
Oh, sluice out of 3, but saves it. Oh, that was close.
Reese Dainty just almost spun it out. He's kept the car. He was 2 times up in the first sector. Hopefully that doesn't lose him too much time. He'll be hoping to shoot up the field and get out of that risk zone that he's currently in. He has got a car in front of him. It does look like an AlphaTauri. He is struggling with the car, in fact. He is 5 tenths up now. So Reese Dainty is swinging that car about, handling it. And he is currently up by nearly 6 tenths, which could shoot him into the top 5, potentially, depending on the final sector. Let's see, here we go. He comes round up to the line. Where will Reese Dainty go? Does he shoot into the top 5? And he's only 7th place, so he's lost about 2 tenths in the final sector, if not more. And Kieran's retired. He thinks he's through. Groggers is getting ready. Jordan comes up to the line. He does improve. He does set a 17.2. So very good by Jordan there. And I think the closest driver that's actually on a lap that's about to finish is Wavy Knife. He's currently 6 tenths up. So he's going to potentially shoot up the field. AK's at risk. He's up in the middle sector. So it's all going to be close in these final few laps. Imola, a track that does have a lot of track development, and here we go. Where will Wavy go? He goes up to 15, so he is currently through now. But Wavy is not Wavy. AK is currently 6 tenths up, and where will he go? He goes 13th. He knocks Wavy Knife down, and both Williams are at risk now. Globetrotter's 2 tenths up in the first sector, so he's currently got enough time in it to shoot up to the top, but hopefully it is enough by him. Grogan has spun it, so he is at risk. He is at risk.
Now, this should be interesting. Now JTK is in the pit, so he is out. So JTK slowest of the field with a 17.9. Now Globetrotter is on his way through. There is Williams ahead and a Mercedes ahead. This might slow him up just a tiny bit. Clears the Williams. There he comes out of the last couple of corners. Let's see what Globetrotter's got as he's going to shoot across the line, and he just misses out. 16th.
I got 2 out of 3 on my prediction.
400th, and Jordan is going to breathe a sigh of relief, but the question is, will Jordan get knocked out by his teammate?
Wavy's done.
No, Wavy's coming back in. So Globetrotter, Wavy, and JTK are out. So we're equal. We're equal. You got 2 of yours right with Wavy and Globetrotter. I was right with 2 of them with Wavy and JTK.
Yeah. It's going to be very, very close in Q2.
What's really interesting is that from second all the way to 12th is separated by 8/10 of a second between that group of 11. So literally Q2 is going to be unpredictable on who will be going through to Q3 and who will not. So it's going to be very unpredictable in that sense. So, TV is the fastest, ahead of DeChiller and Luke. A surprising 4th Q1 finish for Gerard, aka B1960 Grandpa. But we will say goodbye to Q1 for JTK, Wavy, and Globetrotter. And and we will be moving through into Q2 momentarily. Okay, we are back in for Q2 here at Imola. So for those that are just joining us, we had 3 eliminated in JTK, Wavy Knife, and Globetrotter knocked out of Q1, and we are up for Q2, and the first guy to come out is Luke. So Luke is going to be the first guy out on the circuit.
I am going to say this. If a Williams is that close to that Mercedes at the end of Q1, then that Mercedes driver should not be in that Mercedes.
I do agree, but like I said, it is the possibility that because it is a wet race, I'm thinking it's just a mixture of setups. People are sticking with their dry setups, and others are chancing it with wet setups. So, but you don't know. Anything is possible. Anyways, with Luke, like I say, he's first up. Whoa, goes off in turns 8. Had a car going a little evil on him, but kept it in grips. Now Luke is celebrating because earlier today in F2 in Miami, he wound up going back to back again, winning 2 races, winning both the races in Miami. So he is definitely riding high on that. Now with, if my memory's right, with Luke, with his 2 wins, he goes to 34 unless anything happens. So let's see, just making sure. Yeah, so Luke, once his 2 F2 wins are official, he is 1 win away from... Oh boy, he goes spinning again out of turn 3. Oh, that sucked for Luke. He's going to have to retry again. That was very unfortunate, but Luke
We got Spinner in the final sector.
He's 1 win away from going 75 career wins.
No, both Alpines spun on their laps. Oh, TB's getting held up here. No, what is Red doing? Red, get the fuck out the way! It's the same driver.
It's crazy. Red Fire and TB are both on flying laps, but TB is not happy because of Red Fire holding him up.
It's the same stuff with the same driver every week. Same stuff every week. What's this? 3 weeks? 3 weeks in a row now he's done this?
It's most likely, but like I said, TB is not going to have a good lap. He's going to have to try again because of Red Fire getting in his way. DeChiller sets the fastest lap with a 16.5, and TB abandons and heads to the pits. And Red Fire was the slowest with a 17.8. So TB is probably furious at Red Fire for holding him up.
Yeah, the same driver for 3 weeks in a row now has caused problems, and I don't think he's received any penalties for it. I've not really looked at the report, but for a driver that's constantly causing issues in our best tier, definitely needs to receive some kind of penalty because it's not fair for other drivers, and he never learns and he never improves himself. He always tends to do the same stuff all the time, and he's like at Jeddah he caused a big crash. At Australia he caused issues. So maybe that he needs to receive a big penalty at some point, and hopefully he'll sort himself out.
When you mentioned about with Australia, I did wind up figuring out what happened with Red Fire. What happened was that in the third to final corner, he went a little too wide, and the rear wound up going off on him, and he wound up spinning and crashing into the wall. It was caught on Jacob's live stream. Jacob was live streaming that race, his end of the race, and he wound up catching Red Fire crashing and retiring.
Yeah, I've got the clip on my Xbox of what he did.
Well, as more of these guys are filling in to get some laps in, Luke has to come back out and try again with another lap. After his spin in turn 3. Now, what's interesting is Tadpole, by the way, who set a 16.979. He is 4/10 behind the Chiller, but what's interesting is that while the Chiller's 16.5 was on soft tires, Tadpole's 16.9 was done on mediums.
I think one thing we should also mention is Kieran's on mediums as well. Just to point out.
Ah, yes.
Kieran's on mediums.
I just noticed that too.
30 thousandths quicker than his top academy car, shall we say. So, but Tadpole doesn't have any expectations for this race, and I don't think we need to set any on him because he's amazing in Tier 2. It's his first race in Tier 1 in an actual competitive car. He has nothing to panic about, and I think he can still get a top result here. Imola's always been chaotic for RPL, from the Red Bull scandal to an AlphaTauri getting a podium. Just crazy race results, in fact. So I expect the same here.
Absolutely, and for those folks that don't know what Layton is talking about, this happened in Season 5 of F1, and that was when Luke and Maxwell, who were both in the Red Bull cars, Maxwell was told by the team principal at the time, Matt GW, to not do anything that could affect the race, and Maxwell wound up deliberately crashing. That helped his teammate Luke win that race because of a late safety car, and because of it, both Red Bulls were disqualified from the event.
TB got held up by Jacob now. It's not looking good for him.
Actually, I was on board with him. I was actually on board with Jacob. Actually, Jacob was behind TB. And Jacob was starting a new lap, so TB gave him slipstream down the main straight.
That's it.
So I think TB decided to help his teammate before deciding to go off and start a lap the next time by.
Yeah, Reece Dainty's on a lap now.
Term has joined in, so we are going to have 19 as Term will jump into the Aston Martin.
Reece Dainty is 2 times quicker than the Chiller in the first sector. Are we going to see a stonking lap by the Mercedes driver? Oh no! He was 40 milliseconds quicker in the middle, but I think he's just lost it due to that spin. No. Here we go.
Well, Jacob, go ahead. 16-0.
Where does Reece Dainty go? Will he go into the top 3? He goes second. Well done to Reece Dainty. Massive fan. Hopefully I can get an autograph.
Absolutely. 0.04 of a second off of Jacob's time, and he goes almost 4/10 up on the Chiller in that lap, but and the Chiller returns back to the pits.
He was 3 times up.
Now there's only one driver yet to set a lap. That person being Fanflow. He is yet to come back. He's yet to set a lap.
Hey, wasn't he on PC last week? Huh?
Well, I know. But like I said, Fanflow has yet to set a lap. Luke is starting his new lap to get himself out of the bottom 5. Same with TB. He's getting himself out of the bottom 5.
Here we go.
Dude,
TB.
technically in the bottom 5 is Red Fire and B1960 Grandpa, aka Gerard. Wow. 4 tenths up on Jacob. TB goes 15-6.
He is on a wet setup as well. I can confirm.
Alright.
That is a driver that's going to be unstoppable.
As mentioned at the beginning of the season, TB is looking for a driver's championship. Jacob, as much as he doesn't mind want to run for a driver's championship, he's more concerned with a constructor's championship. That's what I did mention at the beginning of the season, as Luke is gonna start across the line, and he goes 4th fastest. Zakaria wound up going 6th fastest, just a 10th above his teammate Boss Cookie, who is also on the lap.
Yeah, Zakaria once again proven that he's a good driver. He's underestimated. I think he's underrated as well. I think this is the season where Zakaria shows that he can prove himself, and hopefully he does get a chance in the top tier at some point, because you know that there are a lot of drivers in here that don't always tend to deserve a top seat, but could probably perform in one. And I think Zakaria definitely has the chance to raise in a top seat, hopefully. But yeah.
Absolutely, and the Ferrari pair have called it. They are definitely safe to go through into Q3. Fanflow is in the bus stop chicane. Nope, that's Luke I saw in the bus stop chicane. I think he's actually helping Owen out into the penultimate corners, because Owen is in 10th place, but he is in the bubble to be knocked out of Q2. So maybe a little help from Luke in the penultimate corner will do some work. Not by much, but puts him 9th place ahead of Taphole. So Taphole in the bubble. And right now, bottom 5 has, wow, Fanflow just went 5th fastest. Holy wow. So that just makes the bottom 5 right now Red Fire, Gerard, Jordan, Groggers, and Tadpole are the bottom 5. This should be pretty interesting to say the least. Like I said, George, Jordan, Grandpa, and Red Fire, they have 17s for their lap times. Everybody else is in the 16s, except for TB in the 15s. Well, let's see what is going to happen as we're on board with George right now. He makes his way through turns 1, 2, and 3.
Hopefully he doesn't put any corners this time around, and he can put himself. He's currently nearly a 10th and a half off. 7 milliseconds short of that, but that's still not enough. He's at least 2.5 tenths, roughly, just to get him anywhere close. That's if Tadpole doesn't improve, and that's if Dion doesn't improve. So yeah.
He's up 4 tenths after sector 2.
Yeah, he doesn't push again.
That will put him in the 9th right now.
I'm sure that Kieran's going to improve on the soft tyres. AK's going for it again. Tadpole's going for it. And here we go. Where will Drago shoot himself up to? Will he go into the top 10? He goes 8th. He improved by nearly 7 tenths there, so congratulations to him. Owen's 1 tenth up in the first sector. Tadpole is a 10th up. Jordan comes up to the line. He stayed 13th, but improved by nearly 4 tenths, so congratulations to him. He'll be happy. Red Fire Tiger comes up to the line. He goes for another lap. Grandpa is up. He's nearly 4 tenths up. Just after the first sector, what will he be in the middle sector? He's nearly 8 tenths up. So he's going to
Wow.
wrap it up. So even though Jordan has gone 8, Zakari has not made the line. He's missed it. Eon is nearly 2 tenths up. He's going to come up to the line. Where will he shoot up to? Here we go. Where will he go? He goes 10. Tadpole 2 tenths up. Kieran's just about to come up to the sector 2 split. He's nearly 3 tenths up. Where will Tadpole go? Will he shoot up? He goes 9. George is at risk here. If
Grandpa just put himself 7th.
If Kieran can have a massive improvement here, he could shoot up and knock out a Mercedes driver in Q2. Red Fire Tiger is 8 tenths up, but here we go. Where will Kieran go? Will he knock out Groggers? No, he doesn't. He misses out by
Just missed.
Just over a tenth and a half. What can Red Fire Tiger do? The final driver to come across the line. Will he improve? Will he shoot up? Will he knock out Groggers? He comes up to the line. Where will Red Fire Tiger go? He doesn't make it. He's out.
Oh my goodness.
Groggers makes it out by the skin of his teeth.
700's the difference between George and Red Fire. Red Fire, Kieran and Zakaria, Owen and Jordan knocked out. But we do have a Haas in Q3 with Gerard. He put the Haas 7th fastest. Way to go.
Very, very, very entertaining Q2 there. Very, very close in fact as well. The knockouts just separated by 3 tenths, just between 14th and 10th. So very, very close. 9 tenths separate the top 10. So very close there. And TB once again on top. So will he go for a Grand Slam here? I don't think I've ever seen someone really do it in RPL much because of strategy and tyres, but maybe TD could do a Grand Slam.
It's been done numerous times before by Luke over the course of seasons 3, 4, and 5. I don't remember the last time someone has done that. I think minus Scyther, last season. But yeah, that was a really close Q2 session, and now we are heading into Q number 3. Yeah, this is gonna be pretty dang good. And I'll be honest, I already have decided who my top 3 are gonna be in no particular order. The top 3 is the same top 3 from Q2: TB, Jacob, and the Chiller. Those 3 are gonna be the top 3. So now here we are for Q number 3, and this is our group, our 10 cars in for Q number 3. We have Luke and Fanflo in the Alpine, Reese and George surviving for Mercedes. That pair is in. Tadpole and the Chiller. The Red Bull pair is through. Jacob and TB, the Ferrari pair is in. And our 2 oddballs being Boss Cookie in the Alpha and Grandpa in the Haas. And one thing I also want to mention, for the second week in a row, Zakaria was so close to a Q3 appearance only to be knocked out by the skin of the teeth. But now as these guys are coming out, and Reese is going to be the lead car for this Q3 group. Boss Cookie, George, and Tadpole have yet to come out. Well, as I say it, they are coming out now, except for George. George has not come out yet. One thing I will say, with Gerard, B1960 Grandpa, he has been basically the star of qualifying so far. He was 4th in Q1, 7th in Q2. Now I wonder where he'll be for Q3.
I think he'll get 8, maybe 7, depending on other people's quality times. And the first driver that actually is on a quality time at the moment is the Chiller. Actually, no, it's Reese Dainty, sorry. So, Reese Dainty's going to be the first one to set a time. Where will he go? He's been very consistent all section. And a driver that can potentially fight for second in qualifying. I think TB is just untouchable. He's a driver that is just really unstoppable at the moment, and he's going to be very hard to beat. But you know, some drivers might stop him. You know, we've got the Chiller, a driver that's been a champion, won multiple races. We've got Reese Dainty, Tier 2 champion, an F2 champion, and hopefully an F1 champion if he can get it together in some season's time. Yeah, there's a lot of people that definitely want their hands on a trophy, and I think a lot of people are going to fight for it soon. And there we go, 16-0 is the first time. Very strong one, in fact. Where will the Chiller go? He actually invalidates. TB's about to come across the line. Will he set 15-6 like he did? No, he doesn't. He's actually going slow here. So he's going to go again. He comes across the line. Where will he go? Will he get into the top 3? Luke by 4 milliseconds just behind Reese Dainty. So very, very close there between him. Boss Cookie's in the first sector now. Where will he go? The Alfa Romeo driver is struggling. That's because he is on the controller. But in the wet, he should be flying through the field. And where will he go? He goes P5, 2 turns behind the Alpine. Very, very good there. Where will Tadpole go? The Ferrari, not the Ferrari driver, the Red Bull driver goes 2 turns behind Reese Dainty. So very, very close there between the midfield. As the Chiller's invalidated his second run in a row. That's not very good from him.
The Chiller has had some issues with keeping the car in control as he went really loose out of the final corner, and he's actually bailed to the pits. He's going to try again. Now, TB did have an issue somewhere, so he had to do another lap, and here he comes across the line, and he is fastest with a 15.3, 4/10 up on his teammate. And like I said, Reese and Luke only separated by 4 milliseconds, which is pretty damn close. It's one of the closest I've seen in a while.
I'm going to say this now. TB is going to do a Sebastian Vettel Singapore performance. Coming to the pit lane. That's it. Done. I think he's done. He's got pole. That's it. TB's got pole. He's done. Finished. Congrats. Might as well go shake his hand in the garage. He could have...
But we were saying the same thing. We were thinking that with either him or Jacob in Australia until Cryptic surprised us by beating them in Australia. So we don't want to jinx ourselves by calling it too early. But I mean, yeah, if TB or Jacob does get pole, it is gonna be the third. It's gonna be the third race in 4 for Ferrari to get pole position.
Still dominant by TV and Jacob at the moment. The Ferrari drivers won every single race so far this season, and it's been
Three different ones, yes.
yeah, three different. Cookie, TB, and then Jacob being the most recent winner in Australia. So yeah, maybe it's going to be 4 for 4, and maybe we get our first double winner this season.
As we mentioned, it with Jacob winning in Australia, that is his second win in his career. As George just goes 7 fastest, 16.5. TB winning in Saudi Arabia is his 5th in his career, which ties him with Matt GW and NRX Flynn, aka Salt. And Cookie, who won in Bahrain, he became the 27th different F1 RPL winner. And he was a first-time winner after that race.
That's cool.
There's the Chiller now. He's just gonna start his time. He's gonna start his time lap. As him and Grandpa are the only cars yet to set a lap. And there's only 4 minutes 40 seconds to go in Q3.
Oh, he's gonna back out of that one.
Yes, he has. He caught too much of the curb in turn 2, so the Chiller has abandoned the lap, and he's gonna try again later on. Oh, Gerard has not come back out onto the circuit. Boss Cookie and the Ferrari pair are back out on the track. As George returns back to the pits. What's interesting is that with George, he barely made it into Q2. He barely made it into Q3. I'm just gonna say this. I think George is gonna be either 9th or 10th after Q3 is done.
I'm gonna say 9th. I think he'll just beat one car. That's it.
Well, the question is which car will he beat?
Okay.
You're thinking Cookie?
Yeah.
Well, if I put George in 9th, I would probably say maybe he might get ahead of Fanflow. I think Fanflow might be 10th, but I don't know. But I'm thinking, I got strong feeling that George is probably gonna be 10th place.
Maybe.
Oh, Ferrari pair playing the DRS help for the main straight. TB helping his teammate. So Jacob is gonna look to improve in Sector 1, and he is almost a quarter second up from his previous time.
Schiller's not on the best of runs here. He's nearly spun out 2 times on this lap. It's not been the best of laps for the Red Bull driver, and I don't think he's going to be in the top 4, but maybe. And there we go. Yeah, it's only 6th place. That's not very good there from him. He'll be fuming. He won't be happy at all with that performance.
Yeah, the Chiller is gonna be hoping to try maybe. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if he's gonna be going for another run or not. And yeah, I don't think he is, and he's not gonna have enough time to get another lap in. Boss Cookie, he wound up abandoning his lap right in the middle of Sector 2. So something happened there. So he is now gonna be trying again. Grandpa is back out onto the circuit, and Jacob, by the way, he did wind up improving, only a 10th off of his teammate. So it is looking like a good Ferrari 1-2 with only 70 seconds to go in Q3.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a Red Bull 1-2. I don't think, not a Red Bull 1-2, a Ferrari 1-2. I don't think any other cars on that level.
Most likely
The
not. The
Ferrari.
chiller is back into the pit, so temporarily 6th place is where he will be.
We had Lottery Stainty at the moment. He's 4 times up. And he made a mistake in the final sector. Could he split the Ferrari duo? Or will he just be behind? Where will Lottery Stainty go? He goes
Looks like Boss Cookie has
15-6.
crashed in turn 8. That's not there as TB improves. Only by a couple hundredths. Reese is in 3rd. Well, unfortunately, the chiller's my pick to get into to be in the top 3 is gone. Oh, Grandpa goes spinning!
Philadelphia at the moment is going to
That
beat the
is
chiller.
very unfortunate.
If I were you, I'd watch the Philadelphia and Rockers. These two could beat the chiller. The chiller could be knocked down to 8th. That's not going to be a good start for him.
No, it is not. I think that is going to be one of the chiller's worst starts in the Red Bull.
He
as
is. He's going to
Fanflo
get knocked.
goes 4th. Wow.
Where will Groggers go? Groggers is surely going to shoot up here. He's 6 times up. Where will he go? He goes up to 5th. Hadpol's coming across the line. Where will he go? He goes 6th. Luke's 3 times up. He's on for a 15.7 at the moment. So he's going to be 3 cars in front of him, potentially 4, and maybe even 5, depending on that this last sector now. The Alpine is very, very good. Luke is a very, very good driver, a multi-champion in F1 and F2. But where will Luke go? He's the final qualifier. He comes up to the line, and it's P4 for the Alpine driver. So it's a 4.55 for Alpine, a 6 for Mercedes, 7th and 8th for Red Bull, a 9 for Alfa, and a 10 for Haas. But most crucial of all, it's a 1-2 for the Scuderia Ferraris here at Imola, their home track.
Absolutely. Jacob and TB are going to be very happy with that, but Fanflo, I think, is going to be in pure celebration mode for sure, because Fanflo 5th place to kick it off for the race, so he's definitely going to be very happy with that qualifying time.
Yeah, Fanflo driver is definitely up there. Not the cleanest of drivers in RPL, but definitely one of the fastest, I'd say. Yeah, well, I'm okay.
And despite the difference being a 10.5 between Jacob and TB, Jacob did confirm he is on a wet setup. So this should be interesting, but there it is. Ferrari 1-2 with Jacob and TB, the front row. Reese is 3rd. Luke will round off row number 2. Fanflo and Groggers make up row 3. Red Bull, 4th row, so that's going to be a unique race to say the least. I saw your comment! Just a downfall. Ouch! Alright, and there it is. The wet weather is going to play into effect. So everybody on the wet weather tires. So here is our grid. So we have Term in 19th, row 9 of JTK and Wavy, row 8 of Globetrotter Jordan, row 7, Owen Zakaria, AlphaTauri row 6 with Kiernan and Red Fire, Row 5 of Grandpa and Cookie. Red Bull row 4 of The Chiller and Tadpole. Row 3 of George and Fanflo. Row 2 of Reese and Luke. And then the Ferrari pair of Jacob and TB making up the front row. Everybody on the wet weather tires. So here we go. So it's going to be a slow getaway when the 5 lights come on here for Imola to kick off round 4. And it is lights out and away we go. And it is TV getting a better start off of against Jacob as Reese is moving in against Jacob. Here comes Luke as well. It looks like we have multiple people changing their idea. It's actually, we have a mixture of intermediates and wet tires. As Fanflo gets ahead of George and the Chiller switching with Tadpole. As more and more of these guys are just filing into place, and looks like we have somebody way off into the gravel. That is Cookie, off into the gravel, gets back onto the track. We're still underway, but Cookie had a poor start, to say the least. As these guys are working their way through, some of these drivers are already getting back into their style of setups and looking at the tires. Yeah, we have multiple different changes, and whoa, contact between the Chiller and George winds up causing an accordion effect as Tadpole goes off. Oh, we got somebody hard into the wall. Tadpole is out. And a VSC is deployed because of Tadpole out of the race. So unfortunately, sadly, Tadpole, the lap 1 demolition curse has come back. Just looking at the tire thing, we have multiple cars coming into the pits. The Chiller, George, man, yeah, a lot of it. The Chiller, Red Fire, George, Owen, and Jordan all into the pits because of incidents. And, well, Jordan is in the pits and he's out. Jordan is done. So VSC is on the track. So VSC deployed. And it looks like Tadpole is blame George for this incident. Now we are back underway, and it is TV ahead of Jacob, Reese, Luke, Fanflo, Kiernan, Grandpa, Globetrotter, Term, Zakaria. Those last two were just battling it out for 9th place, and Term started dead last. He's already up in the 9th place.
Layton off the grass. Reese Layton just lost the car, absolutely nearly binned himself there. Close one.
That would not have been good, and that winds up capitalizing for Luke as Luke goes ahead to 3rd place. As because of the VSC, these fastest laps are coming into play, mixing around, and Globetrotter is on top. It looks like George and Owen have collided. Uh-oh. I gotta get back because my game crashed.
Oh.
Yeah, the game crashed because when I tried to get on while I was on board with Cookie, I was just looking at Sky, and then when it came back to, try to get it onto Tadpole, or not Tadpole, somebody else, the game just completely froze and broke.
What's Cookie pits?
Sorry about that.
Owen and Cookie are fighting. Jacob is still behind TB, so maybe the Intertire is the best tire at the moment. Kieran's all behind Philadelphia, and Kieran's on the intermediates. So very, very close. They'll be hoping to get past the Alpine driver. The
Alright,
TB
back
sets the
in it,
fastest time of
and
the race now. It looks like the wets have knocked the tyre. People are boxing for the Insters. The Insters are not the tyre. It's the wets are not the tyre. The Insters. The Insters are far better tyre.
that seems like it as Term has come in. So it looks like, yeah, Wets are not playing nice to some of these guys as Kiernan is on the tail of Philaden to try to get himself into.
JTK just pinned it to the wall, and we have another VSC. Virtual safety car is deployed here, and I'm sure people are going to start pitting now. And Groggers is nearly lapped here on lap 4. He's close to being lapped, so that's not good.
No, if he was... Well, here's the thing. If he did wind up getting lapped by TB, George would set the new record for quickest time to be lapped. And that record was set by Zora last season in Singapore, only going 4.5 laps before getting.
Drive through.
Wow. What the world are you doing, man? Well, that only leaves a few. We have Jacob, Luke, Globetrotter, Grandpa, Zakaria, Wavy, and JTK on the wet tires. But we know JTK is going to be coming in to get that wing replaced. So...
Oh, the flag pinned it! That's going to be a safety car. Perhaps? No? Oh.
No safety car. So Gerard crashes out of 6th place, and that is the end of him. On board Reese, there he is, out of turn number 3, and that sadly is our 3rd retirement of the event. So Gerard out. That is just very unfortunate, to say the least. I do wonder what happened to him.
If I were Jacob at pit, he's at risk of losing out to Reese here. Reese Dainty could get past him depending on what Reese's outlap is. If I were him and Luke at pit, you don't want to take the risk of losing out in the wet. It's not something you want. And Jacob stays out. Luke's gonna actually stay out as well here, so the wet guys are actually going to stay out even though they're losing a lot of time. And Philadelphia actually pits. He's going to serve his drive-through. And Alpha Tauri, he's up to P3 now out of all the cars. Globetrotter stays out on the wet compounder tyres.
Zakaria is also on the wet tires as well. He stays out. And Fatflow, after serving that drive-through, he is going to come out behind Reese and the Chiller, possibly.
Gonna be out ahead.
Oh no, he's going to get just ahead of him.
This isn't good for Reese. Reese won't be happy because Philadelphia is the driver that doesn't give up easily. And he's got a dancing Red Bull right behind him. He's losing the car every corner. And the Chiller's actually getting close to losing the car. So yeah, Reese Dainty's not going to be happy in here. If I were Reese, I'd go for an absolute send up the inside. Reese Dainty goes for it. He gets ahead of the Alpine. There we go. He's up to P7. He forces Philadelphia to the outside. And there we go. Reese Dainty's up to P7. What a move. What a dive bomb. Great move there by the Mercedes driver.
A very strong and very, very clever move by Reese. Does get himself into P7. Now, like I said, Philadelphia is loaned to Alpine via the Red Bull, so there was danger on Reese that he could have been held up by Philadelphia, so the Chiller could capitalize. And speaking of which, Luke and Globetrotter are in as the Chiller gets past. So that leaves Jacob on the wet weather tires still out there as TB's lead increases to over 6 seconds.
It's going to be very close here between Luke and Reese, and I think Reese... Oh, it's going to be very, very close here. Will he do it? Yes, he does. He gets out ahead. What about the Chiller? The Chiller's behind Luke.
My, oh my. So Luke comes out, gets ahead, gets stuck behind Reese, and the Chiller is ahead, and looks like Kiernan just had a problem. Well, maybe not. No, we have another VSC. But the question is from what? I don't see what caused this VSC. Was it Kiernan? Because I did see Kiernan going loose. It is Kiernan. Kiernan's got no wing. So Kiernan loses the wing out and crashes in 3rd place, and he gets a drive-through on top of it. My goodness.
Yeah, that drive-through is not going to affect him too much, I'd say. I think he's just going to be fine. The track does look like it's getting a little bit better, so potentially switching over, but I don't think he will. I don't feel like Jacob's
what's going to happen with Kiernan? Because he's in the pits now. Okay, he is going to be getting his stop done.
Then he has to serve a drive-through. It's not good for him.
No, it's not. That's going to put Reese up into 3rd place. But the issue is, he is nearly 28 seconds behind Jacob. So potentially, I don't know if the wet weather stop is going to change anything, but I think Jacob is a pit stop ahead of Reese if he pits. And trouble in Sector 1, Kiernan has crashed! So same as Gerard, Kiernan, after getting his wing replaced, crashes out. He's done. That's 4 now.
Jacob stays out.
And I just found out from Gerard, he said the car went evil on him. He said it was he had 2017 wings, and George almost loses it at his first time with the traction control off. But he did say the car did go a bit evil on him, so it is unfortunate for Gerard to be out this early. And Kiernan too. Kiernan was doing decently well up until that crash.
Yeah.
And subsequent drive-through.
Stuck behind Luke here, and Luke has a lot more ERS than the Chiller, so it's not good here by the Chiller. Globetrotter gets ahead of Globetrotter gets ahead of Philadelphia. Nice driver, he's absolutely amazing here. He's outperforming that car to absolute limit. Luke nearly actually spins it. He loses the back end. He goes for a little spinneroo, and so he luckily saved it, and there we go. The question is...
So it's on my end, just for briefly, Luke did have a bit of a lag spike, but he was back to normal and he's okay. That was because of Kiernan leaving the session, so that's probably what was happening, but the Chiller trying his best to keep up with Luke as they battle on for 4th place. Meanwhile, further back, Owen is trying to catch Boss Cookie for 10th place as Term is the first one into the track limit penalty club. Anyways, back on with the Chiller and Luke in this battle for 4th. Fortunately, Luke is still keeping the tabs ahead. And that is because of Luke having far significantly higher ERS than the Chiller does. Excuse me. And, oh, we only got... Whoa! Boss Cookie winds up going off the track slightly. And Owen takes advantage. Oh, Cookie's off. And, oh, contact between Owen and Cookie. Cookie want to cut in the entire corner. And Owen and Cookie want to making contact. Cookie is damaged. And moves over to let Zakaria through. And Fanflow is in the penalty club now for exceeding track limits. It looks like the Chiller must have made a mistake because he was a couple tenths behind Luke. Now all of a sudden it's over. It's over 3 tenths down as Cookie has crashed. And we have a safety car.
Jacob's gonna pit here 100%.
Well, the Chiller is coming in. The Chiller's in first. Let's see if anybody else gonna join him. Yeah, Fanflow is. So is Rev Fire. Term is opted to stay out.
Look how close Rugged is from being lapped. So close.
Yes, he was. A TB is over 14 seconds ahead, so if the Ferrari pair does pit at the same time, they aren't going to worry about a double stack. Let's see what happens here. TB is coming in. So TB is coming in, which means Jacob will follow suit. My question is will Reese do the same? I'm taking a look at the lap counter right now. Currently the two biggest movers. It is Globetrotter, who gained 11 spots, and Term gaining 13. And with the active drivers on the track, the biggest loser is George, losing 7, as Reese is in the pits as well. So Luke will jump ahead of him. So Reese will be rejoining up with the safety car in 3rd place. Globetrotter is up to stay out. Term is back in. Is in the pits. So, we'll see what happens. And where they're going to come out. As they come out, as Term is back out onto the track, he falls to 10th on the intermediate tires. so as we're back underway, as we're gonna be back underway once everyone gets into place. So we had a grand total of 3 VSCs and 1 safety car. VSC number 1 was for Tadpole's crash in and on lap 1. Kiernan was the second VSC deployment. It was a third. I'm trying to remember what caused that one. But our safety car was because of Boss Cookie crashing. So we have 5 drivers out of the event. We have 14 left. Top 10, it is TB, Jacob, Luke, Reese, The Chiller, Globetrotter, Fanflow, Redfire, JTK, Term, and as the top 10, while the remaining of the field is Owen in 11th, Vicaria 12th, George, who almost went a lap down, is 13th, and Wavy is sitting in 14th. The safety car should be coming in probably next time. Could be coming in either this time or next time by. We are on lap 12 of 32. TB has pretty much led from the start. And yeah, it's been, it's our first wet race of the RPL season. Even though it's a wet one, it's a tiny bit of a boring race so far, to say the least.
At the moment, it's just not one of them races that's entertaining, but we do have 5 DNF so far. A different manufacturer, in fact, Red Bull, William, AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo.
Yep, it is true. And so far, 2 big surprises. Checking up with one of them is Globetrotter. He's sitting in 6th place. So good positioning for him in the Haas. And the newcomer JTK, who debuted in F2 earlier today, he's sitting in 9th place in the McLaren.
Yeah, very good debut by him.
We are only a third of the way through this event, so anything can happen towards the end of this, as anything can wind up happening. But so far, it has been a Ferrari two-person tango up front. Now the question is once this race comes to an end later, will Ferrari go 4 for 4 in terms of race wins? Safety car is in this lap. EV is in control of this group as we are on board with the Chiller. We watch this group. He's going to make a move. Go. This is when TV gonna go off. And he's actually gonna wait until right at the line to go.
Yeah.
We're off and away. That was an extremely late restart.
Look at Reese. Oh, look at Luke. Luke took the second. Oh, Jacobs.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
I think there was contact between Luke and Jacob. That's why Luke wound up cutting the corner. So Luke, I believe, was ahead up in second anyway, so he doesn't need to get the position back. But Jacob is going to try his best to get it back on the outside.
Is it going to be a Luke masterclass? No, it's not.
Well, Luke playing it safe as Jacob opens up that ERS and takes back second place, and TB goes up to a second ahead, but Jacob had a bit of a bad restart and almost got swamped up by those two between Reese and Luke. But here comes the Chiller now, looking to make a move, but backs out. But a switchback. What a switchback by the Chiller. Puts himself into 4th place.
Yeah, very good move there by the Chiller there.
And now look who's sniffing up on Reese now. Term joined Layton quali, and he is sniffing Reese for 5th.
Terminator.
I mean, then again, it is Term. He's known for doing really, really strong in the crappiest of cars.
Oh, looks like we got a little battle between Groggers and JTK here. And they're side by side, and JTK is outperformed the Mercedes driver here.
Wow. Now, JTK was having a bit of was having some issues in qualifying, and he is just going toe to toe with that Mercedes car. I'm thinking maybe the team principal Mercedes, I'm thinking he might be regretting making Groggers the first reserve choice for Mercedes.
I think any TP would regret that. Looks like Grogshot has gone ahead of Philadelphia here on the side by side through the chicane. Whoa, calm down, guys. We're only on lap 16, halfway through here.
Oh, he wasn't the only one that wanted to go in really wide. Zakaria did the same thing. The Globetrotter are fighting hard against Fanflo. This is a fight for 7th between them. They got a miniature train right behind with Owen right on the tail.
Oh, look at the boys, the pace of the Alpine in the straight. And look.
Oh boy!
He spun it!
That wasn't good.
Both McLarens are now in last place after doing amazing.
Oh my. I don't even know what just happened. I don't even know what just happened as Zakaria has
no safety car. I wonder what
Zakaria has
happened to
crashed in
Zakaria.
turn 6.
I wonder what happened to him here.
I do why, but with that thing with Globetrotter and Owen, I don't even know. I wasn't sure if Owen had trouble with the turning or Globetrotter turned into him. I don't know. And Red Fire and Groggers.
Red Groggers, the two most terroristic drivers, both taking each other out here. And neither
Didn't they reset? Didn't they reset to the track as well?
Groggers didn't. I don't know about Red.
Okay, it looked like they did. I just couldn't tell it because I kind of caught it late. But Owen just put himself back in the 9th. He just got past Wavy. Wavy's in the points. Oh, we got to fight for 3rd. The Chiller and Luke.
Oh,
A switchback again. That was a great move by the Chiller. The Chiller ahead of Luke. Nice switchback maneuvering. And now Reese is back in the fold against Luke. But now with the Chiller in 3rd place, he's got nearly 6 seconds to catch up to the leader of TV. And Jacob is right behind TV. So, looks like Jacob might be going slightly faster as Fanflo and Globetrotter battling. Oh, contact! But Globetrotter keeps it in control. Globetrotter keeps it under control as TB back on setting the fastest lap of the race. Now with Jacob, he was faster in the corners, I do wonder if TB is going to stay ahead, or he might let his teammate by. We don't know what will happen there. And, well, looks like, oh, Red Fire is in the pits.
Yeah,
Red Fire is back in. That's going to be very unfortunate there. Term's actually not doing too bad at all. He's still sitting in 6th place. Despite that 3-second track limit penalty, he's doing pretty decently.
The issue is, what is Jacob and TB going to do here? Are they going to play nice, or are they going to be rough with each other? That is the real question.
Well, it does bear that question indeed. These two have actually started to get along. They worked together in Australia last week. Let's see what will happen here. But these two are running 1-2. So let's see what they are capable of doing. And meanwhile, Globetrotter has caught backed up to Fanflow. It'll be round 2 between these guys. And round 3, I don't know how many rounds it is. But Globetrotter just can't seem to keep him down.
Oh, and he's reset the track.
Oh, George spun again?
Yeah, and he's reset the track.
Oh, Lord. Well, with George resetting, that is going to be a 10-second penalty and 3 penalty points on him, as resetting the track is banned in RPL.
Waving Knife is actually into the points.
Yes, he is, and he last lap was over almost half a second faster than his previous. So Wavy's setting a personal best on that last lap. The Globetrotter trying again against, oh! Fatflow nearly losing it out of turn 10. Globetrotter and Fatflow are just blowing away for that 7th place spot. And Reese is trying to reel in Luke for 4th. Unfortunately, Reese's ERS is pretty much down and out at 6%, and Luke is basically at 50. We're only on lap 20 of 32, and Luke gets a little loose out of turn number 5, but doesn't seem to be affected much, only losing about a 10th of his lead over Reese. And, well, Fatflow and Globetrotter once again at it again. They're side by side out of 6. And Fatflow gets the better of them in a 7. I think these two are looking to collide. Oh, Fatflow's going off. That's going to cost them, and Globetrotter takes advantage of that mistake, and he is up into 7th place. So that is going to do nicely as Fatflow does some drifting out of the exit of that chicane, but keeps it together. But loses a lot of time as TB improves that fastest lap to a 26.0. Once TB and Jacob cross the line, there will be 10 laps left to go in this event.
There we go, 10 laps.
Reese just can't seem to reel in Luke. I'm just looking at the tires. Currently, the driver with the longest stint on their tires is Groggers. He's in 11th, and Groggers is on 19-lap-old intermediates.
Dummy.
Well, what's really interesting is that I think this happened. It happened last week. We had. Did we have it happen last week with both of them? I can't remember. We gotta look again. I think it is. I could be wrong.
Looks like Jacob might be looking to go for it here on TB. He's a lot closer. I think
He could possibly switch. Last week, a Mercedes did finish in the points, while the other Mercedes did not. It looks like it's going to be a repeat this week, with Reese in 5th and George in 11th, but Red Bull will be joining that club as well, with the Chiller in 3rd, and Tadpole, first driver, knocked out. Looking at it as I'm on board with Jacob, it seems that TV is having a poor corner exit. Whoa! Slip up by Jacob. Yeah, TV is having not so pleasant corner exits, while Jacob is having a stronger corner exiting. But when it comes to the straight line speed, TV is stronger on the straightaway speed. There's only 9 laps left to go in this race, and right now, well, this is interesting. George is right now 1.5 seconds behind Wavy. I wonder what's gonna happen here once Wavy gets caught up by George. Is Wavy gonna fight for that point or not?
I think he should. I think Wavy wants to get a point, and I think maybe he deserves it by now, but we'll see.
We'll see indeed, but and in regards to others, Term is is actually keeping it nice and subtle. He's still sitting in the 6th place spot, so he is looking at 8 points in this race. So that'd be pretty nice for him. And Globetrotter is looking at 6 points, and this will be his first points so far this season, because last week in Australia he was one of the first ones out after being involved in a lap 1 crash with 3 other people. Now Reese is back in grips with Luke, but he's too far back to possibly warrant a challenge against Luke, and Globetrotter is reeling Term in. So we're seeing multiple battles here. We're seeing a possible battle for the lead between the Ferrari pair, a battle for 4th between Luke and Reese, and a battle for 6th between Term and Globetrotter. And with only 8 laps to go, anything is possible.
Yeah, anything is possible. We could have one more DNF potentially, or maybe not. That might be it. That might be the end of safety cars and the PSCs. But it all depends on some of these battles.
Because we were focusing on those battles, we failed to notice that Groggers is in the points now. He got clear of Wavy. So Wavy is out of the points, and George is back in the points.
Yeah, but George could potentially pick up a 10-second time penalty, if not more, for some of his driving today that could
Well, he
potentially
does have
promote
that
away.
reset penalty if someone turns him in, so that will knock him out of the points.
Here we go, Wolf try to get ahead of third. He is using his third and everything. He's using that just to stay ahead. And it looks like Turn's going to fight another day here. It's going to survive.
Now they were both using their ERS deployments, and before turn 1, Term had about 40-ish% left, while Globetrotter only had 9 heading into turn 1, but Globetrotter has the, just like with Jacob, is having the better corner exits than Term has. Just like Jacob against TV.
He's very close here to Luke, and here we go, will he go for it into the chicane? Yes, he will, he's on the outside, he backed out last second. And I think that was the closest restart he's actually got to overtaking Luke at the moment, and he didn't commit to it.
Yeah, he was trying to get into Luke's head to try to goad Luke into making a mistake, but Luke, the experienced veteran and a multi-time champion, was aware of what was going on. But they are much closer this time on the main straight. But the thing is, Luke has plenty of ERS left, while Reese has basically none, and Luke survives another lap.
Yeah, he survives another day.
So Luke is still maintaining his ground, staying in that 4th place spot, which will award him 12 points. And currently at the moment, with his 12 points, he, for right now, Luke who is currently 7th in the Drivers' Championship, will go up to 4th place in the Drivers' Championship at this present moment.
Very consistent.
He's at 24 points, so with the 12, he'll go to 36.
Very consistent from Luke all season round.
And Luke has been hanging around in the top 5 pretty much all the way around so far this season. And I think with Reese, he might start getting a little bit annoyed being stuck behind Luke for all this time and just can't seem to get past him. Meanwhile, Globetrotter is gonna try again to try to get past Term, but Term is responding to Globetrotter. Unfortunately, just like with Luke against Reese, Globetrotter is staying ahead, staying behind of Term. So Term's staying ahead. And the Ferrari pair, we go back to them, they are now much closer than ever, hanging in that top 2. The question is will Jacob look for a shot to go for the lead? No, he does not. Was taking a peek, but decided to not take the chances yet. But him and TV are far closer than before.
Yeah, I think Jacob wants to get past, but I don't think TV wants to give up the win. So it's going to be just a case of who wants to fight for it more.
Well, I mean, even though these two are having a little scrap, they are still pulling ahead of the Chiller and Luke, as Fanflo and George is in the penalty club. Well, Fanflo actually just got his second 3-second penalty, which will dump him to 9th place. However, with George having won, he is going to be still staying in 10th right now. And with Term's penalty, he is going to lose 6th place to Globetrotter. Now, there is only 4 laps left in this race, So for some of these drivers, it's pretty much do or die to get past who they want to get past. Like with Globetrotter against Term. He is literally right up on him. And Globetrotter trying to sneak a move on the inside. But just can't get it done out of there.
This is very close to TB once again. These two are being very close.
Globetrotter just had a really strong exit. Trying against Term. They're side by side in the chicane. And Globetrotter gets a penalty to contact. Globetrotter did get a penalty going side by side against Term. And Term goes wide. Now the question is, if now Globetrotter doesn't get any more warnings and stuff, it could be possible he could get that penalty removed.
I think the Stewart's going to look at
Reese
that.
just tried to sneak a peek again on Luke, but no avail.
The Stewart's going to look at that as Term was ahead and Globetrotter went for a risky move that didn't work. I think that's how the Stewarts would look at it if he tried to get it removed. I think that penalty will stay. Just for the fact that oh, my spinning for the identity round.
Oh my lord.
Yeah.
That was in turn 3.
I think the Stewart's going to look at that as NFA. Just because Term was ahead of the apex and Globetrotter went for a risky move that just doesn't work around that chicane. It never has and never will.
Yeah, despite it.
Look at Jacob here. He's all over the back of TB.
And Jacob is the faster one as Red Fire is crashed out on the mini straight of turns 3 and 4. And there is going to be no safety car or VSC because of how close it is to there. Oh boy, watch that. They're right in the middle of the track. There's only 2 laps left. So these guys are going to have to be careful until that car is moved out of there. There he is, it's gone. But Red Fire, that just sucked for him. He is out. That is DNF number 7 of this race. Luke is still not close enough to go against to being challenged by Reese, and Globetrotter is still all over the back of Term again to try to get himself ahead to get that 6th place sealed and done. And Reese is still right back on Luke again. And coming out of the penultimate corner, the Ferrari pair of Luke and Jacob are going to be starting the final lap of the race. And again in the chicane, Term and Globetrotter still at it again. This time Globetrotter's trying to sneak that move to get past there. He's going it, taking a shot again. Contact again between the two.
Globetrotter's fault, that.
Yeah, Globetrotter winds up losing the position back to Term. I think he knew he made a mistake and gave the place back. Well, gave the place back, to say the least.
We're going to come down to this final sector here. Who's going to have the best traction? Who's going to have the best exit? Will it be Jacob or will it be TB? It will be TB at the moment. He is holding on. He has got more ERS, but what will Jacob do? Will it all come down to these final 2 turns here? It's going to be very, very close. It looks like Jacob's going to maybe try and go for it. But look at the straight line speed that TB has. And TB, oh, very, very close. But here goes TB. He won in Jeddah. He got a top 5 in Australia. He punts across the line to win in Imola.
TB comes across to win the Imola Grand Prix. Jacob is second. That is a Ferrari 1-2 for that group. The second time. Wait, no, it wasn't the second time. It hasn't happened yet, but it was the first time in the season. The Chiller comes across in third, and Luke fends off the attacks from Reese for multiple laps, seals fourth place. Reese settles for fifth, and here comes Globetrotter in Term. They are going to come across. Term will cross the line in sixth. Globetrotter will settle for seventh place, and here comes Owen. He will come across to cross in eighth. And looks like Fanflo and George are battling for ninth place. But unfortunately, I didn't even notice that Fanflo's got no wing. But George will come across in ninth place, and Fanflo 10th. And the last two to cross is gonna be Wavy and JTK. Well, that was a unique race, to say the least. But there it is. So, way to go for TB and Jacob. First Ferrari 1-2 of the season, and TB's goes for his 6th win in his RPL history. So once that is official, TB will tie Will in terms of the most wins in RPL F1.
Very dominant race by both Ferrari drivers there.
Very stellar work by them as well, as said, and kudos to the Chiller as well, coming from 8th place at the Q3 to be in third. Luke, the only one to stay in this position where he qualified 4th place. But I mean, literally, if I had to easily say who I would think would be a good contender for driver today, it would have to be Term. Term started basically dead last, played it calm, was in the upper half of the midfield, and just kept it calm against Globetrotter's endless barrages, and managed to stay ahead for 6th place. That is a good accomplishment in my book.
Yeah, Term's my driver of the day.
And also kudos to Globetrotter getting his first points of the season. 6 points for him in the Haas. That will help Haas's point standings as well. So, that was a unique wet race to say the least. And that is going to conclude the stream for this weekend. And we'll be kicking it off for next weekend with this. So, let's kick this off. Let's take a look at our calendars. So, to kick it off, F1 Tier 2 for Round 5 will be in Baku for Round 5 of the season. F2 next Saturday, they will be hanging around in Spain on that track. And what's really interesting is that F2, they were racing around Miami for the race earlier today. That's where the F1 drivers will be going next week. They'll be racing around the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. So, Layton, thank you again for helping me on the commentary job. Thank you. Alright, so from Layton here, this is Titan. I will say good night and have a good one.